Hi everyone, a word. By now I assume that you have seen my conversation with Elon Musk. It has been everywhere for a week now. For a full week, people have been talking about it. Every other headline I see, every time I refresh my social feeds, it is my sit down with Mr. Musk. Our chat on my YouTube page alone currently has more than 1 million views and climbing. And a host of our exchanges went viral. Elon and I discussing our shared history of battling depression. Me pressing Elon on who he may endorse ahead of November. Elon claiming that everyone is a descendant of a slave. That last one was particularly something, wasn't it? But now that I have some time to think about it, now that some time has passed, now that I have a little perspective, I want to circle back to one particular portion of that interview because it has gotten a great deal of attention, but I don't think it's gotten all that attention for the right reasons. I want to circle back to Elon Musk's comments about DEI, specifically his claim that Duke University School of Medicine has lowered its standards in order to admit more students from minority backgrounds. As I pointed out at the time, Elon was peddling baseless nonsense. He was either woefully uninformed or he was lying. Because after that interview aired, Duke released a statement declaring definitively that it has not lowered its standards for medical school admission or graduation, and it continues to rely on GPA and MCAT scores, saying Duke School of Medicine denies lowering admission standards for DEI goals as alleged by Ben Shapiro and Elon Musk. Yes, Duke works to recruit a diverse student body, but no standards have been lowered. So again, Elon was either uninformed or he was lying. In a moment, I'm going to play our clip from that interview, from our conversation. And I just want you to do me a favor. I want you to listen closely to how he defends himself after I question him for making claims without evidence. What he says is very telling. I'll catch you on the other side.
Okay, so listen, let's talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion, all right? That's been a target of yours lately on X. There was a repost of Ben Shapiro that you claim that DEI is killing people. Specifically, you point to medicine. You claim that DEI programs are putting people at risk. Do you really believe this to be true? And what evidence do you have to support it?
What I was referring to there was that if we lower the standards for doctors, so that they, if the test for a doctor is lowered, then the probability of them making a mistake and killing someone is obviously going to be higher.
Wait, say that again. I'm not sure I understand what you said. I want to make sure I understand what you're saying.
Yes, if the standards for passing medical exams and becoming a doctor, or especially something like a surgeon, if the standards are lowered, then the probability that the surgeon will make a mistake is higher. They're making mistakes in their exam. They may make mistakes with people, and that may result in people dying.
What evidence do you have, though, that they're lowering the standards? There's no evidence of that.
I believe there is.
There's no evidence of that, Elon. What is the evidence?
I believe they have literally lowered the standards at Duke University, and that is what the article was referring to.
There's no evidence.
Saying they have not lowered the standards?
There's no evidence about lowering standards, and I think that there is.
I believe that is a false statement you're making.
Okay, well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I think
the interesting thing is, when this is posted on the X platform, there will be a whole bunch of things that rebut what you said and what I said.
Right.
And so people can then make their own decision based on the replies and the rebuttals and the community notes.
I think that's fair. But I do think that on this particular topic, I do think that you and Ben Shapiro are reaching in about this, because there was what Ben posted said that he gave instances of people who were deliberately harming people. Nowhere in the thread does Ben suggest at all, I should say, that anyone is being killed as a result of DEI. That's purely speculative. There's research on DEI and medicine, and there's no evidence that standards are being lowered, that DEI is affecting medicine. Actually, only 5% of doctors are black, and a small percent.
Yeah, I think you'll find that when this is posted to the X platform, that people will reply to it with evidence.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see.
Okay. So, but that's my whole thing about moderation. Maybe you're wrong, but you'll put it out there. You don't know if it's right. Do you think that your responsibility to make sure something is right before you, the person who owns it, Elon Musk, who's a huge figure in the world, that you should know that it's true, that there are people at X who can get research for you before you put something out there like that. That's not necessarily true, even in other examples.
If I say something that is inaccurate, I'm immediately corrected on the platform. That's the advantage of a real-time system like X. So there will be immediately in the replies people correcting me. There will be a community note that will correct me, which is attached to the actual post itself.
Do you think as many people read
Yes.
You think as many people read that as it reads your tweet?
Yes, in fact, and if there's a community note that happens later that where somebody didn't see, but they replied to that or interacted with that post, we will notify them that there is now a community note correcting that post.
Mm-hmm. Just so you.
Whereas if you consider the conventional media, that doesn't happen. Conventional media makes false statements all the time and nobody ever hears the correction.
When I was in conventional media, I can only speak for myself. If I got something wrong, or if someone got something wrong on the platform that I was on, it was corrected, and we made sure that it was corrected. Now, I can't speak for anyone else.
I don't think that's a universal situation.
Okay. So I just the research. So when you talk, do you believe that people are dying because medical standards, DEI is causing medical standards to be lowered? Do you actually believe people are dying because of that?
I believe that if we lower the standards for what it takes to become a doctor.
You're saying if we lower the standards,
yes.
But do you believe people are dying because the standards are being lowered?
I don't think that is yet an issue, but it could become an issue.
Now, friends, I wish I could tell you what was on my mind, what went through my mind at the moment, but there was so much, okay? So, question. What was Elon's response when I pressed him to provide evidence that medical schools were lowering standards? Answer. He said, look at the comments once we post our interview. He said, look at the community notes. Now, the first part of that reply does not hold water. Keyboard warriors on the left or the right, they don't determine what is true. Facts determine what's true. But the second part of his answer is interesting because, credit to Elon, I do think that community notes function that he has implemented there has generally done a decent job of highlighting disinformation and BS. However, as countless X users and journalists have pointed out in the past, the community notes that tend to emerge under Elon's own tweets, well, they don't seem to last very long. Time and time again, when Elon rants online about anything from Microsoft computers to migrants on the southern border, community notes try to fact check him, and then they conveniently disappear. Why do they disappear? Now that's something I'll let you decide on. The fact of the matter is that Elon Musk has become a troll. He doesn't bring facts to the table. He merely seeks to inflame his followers and stoke division. This entire week, he has pushed his allies to attack me in the most personal ways imaginable. It's been rather sad to watch, really, especially because he had the opportunity to challenge me face to face, man to man, but he couldn't do it. It seems he only has keyboard courage. Thanks for watching The Don Lemon Show. Make sure you click on the image in the top right to subscribe to my channel and the thumbnail in the bottom right to watch more content from my show. And I'll see you next time.